Before we start, just a quick reminder to hit that subscribe button. Only 2% are subscribed. At 1,000 subscribers, I'll be posting a special video. The school's automated voice cuts through the shop noise. 2 missed pickups, immediate action requested. I drop the receipt roll and grab my bag. Customers blink as I bolt for the door. My pulse spikes. Are they still waiting? I'm Lena, 34. I call my ex 3 times without breathing. Declined. Silence swells like a dare. Another call, straight to voicemail. I hit redial anyway. Why won't he answer? Mark steps from the stockroom, jaw tight. Keys, he says, palm up. I shove them over and point to the screen. Automated alert again, harsher now. He nods once, then sprints, go or lose them. I kill the lights and lock the gate. A customer knocks, asking for a return. I shake my head and mouth later. She stares as I run for the curb. My chest burns, seconds matter, how long already? Rideshare app spins without cars nearby. I curse and start running toward the avenue. A bus brakes, I jump on without thinking. Nearest stop to Westview, I ask the driver. He shrugs. Only 2 stops, move fast or miss it. My phone buzzes with a short text. From him, can't make it, handle it. 3 words pull the floor out. I grip the overhead bar until knuckles ache. Handle what your kids, your shift, your pride. The bus lurches and people sway hard. An elderly man watches my shaking hands. Emergency, he asks, voice gentle. Children waiting, I answer, voice clipped. He nods, then rings the bell twice. I jump off before the doors fully open. Traffic hisses and a horn barks. I cut between cars and hear a curse. The crosswalk countdown bleeds away, 5-4. I run the last step. This is reckless, do it anyway. Mark's message pops up fast. I'm 5 minutes out, meet at South Gate. I text back 1 word, running. A mother storms past dragging a backpack. I look for our 2 faces, where are they? The school fence comes into view. 2 kids sit on the low wall. My daughter kicks the air, tight rhythm. My son keeps watch like a small guard. They spot me and hold still, almost not believing. Where's Dad? My son asks without greeting. He's close, I answer through breath. Not that Dad, he says, eyes hard. I lower myself to their level, no lies. He bailaid, I say, my throat fights the word. A car swings into the fire lane. Mark jumps out before it rolls fully. He lifts my daughter with a quick grip. My son climbs in without a word. A teacher calls from the doorway, custody questions loading. I flash my ID and the custody note. The teacher checks the time and frowns. 40 minutes, she murmurs like a verdict. I glance at my kids strapping in. 40 minutes of waiting, what did that feel like? Call your ex now, the teacher says firmly. I did, I answer, heat rising. She folds her arms and doesn't move. Document this, she adds, another rule, another burden. I nod, evidence matters, the clock keeps punching. Mark meets my eyes over the car roof. He tilts his head toward the wheel. You drive, he says, no question. I slide in and force steady hands. He takes the passenger seat, watching me not crash. We pull away as the alert repeats again. Late pickup warning echoes from my phone. I mute it and feel the silence crackle. My daughter leans forward and touches my sleeve. Are we in trouble? She whispers, my stomach knots. Not you, I say, each word slow. My son stares out and traces fog on glass. He writes 3 letters and wipes them fast. I catch the last one, D like Dad. My grip tightens, choose your next move carefully. Mark taps his knee like a drumline. Home first, he murmurs under breath. Then calls, I answer, short and sure. We pass the playground where parents still chat. I stare at them like a different species. How normal. The light turns red and holds forever. I text my ex a clear line. Kids left at school, fix this now. 3 dots appear then disappear twice. He finally responds, stop being dramatic, my heart spikes. Mark reads over my shoulder, then looks away. His jaw flexes once, contained force. Don't answer that, he says and watches traffic. I tuck the phone face down beside me. I breathe through my teeth, this isn't done, not close. I park crooked and leave the engine running. Mark unbuckles both kids before I blink. Inside, I tell them, voice steady. They hurry toward the door without looking back. I pocket the keys, phone already vibrating hard. A video request flashes from my ex. I accept and hold the screen at chest level. Why the panic, he opens with a smirk. Explain the 40 minutes, I answer. The front door clicks open behind me, ears everywhere. He scratches his jaw and glances off camera. Meeting stacked, nothing I could do. Then text the office, I cut in. You had time for emojis, I add. His mouth twitches caught, then he goes cold. You're poisoning them with your husband, he fires. Focus, I snap, keeping the porch between us. Confirm tomorrow's pickup, yes or no. He stalls, then shrugs like it costs nothing. Maybe depends on. Workload, he mutters, rage builds. I tilt the phone so only I hear. Uncertainty equals no, I say, slow. He leans close to the camera like a threat. Try replacing me and see court, he warns. A neighbor steps onto their balcony and stares. Mark opens the door wider and waits. I lower the call volume and keep eye contact. You left them exposed today, documented, I state. Threats won't move me. He laughs once dry, then ends the call. Inside, backpacks lie near the entry rug. Shoes half off, shoulders slumped, eyes guarded. Snacks first, I say, short, practical. My daughter nods and heads for the table. My son lingers, testing the air for lies. Mark rinses apples with quick motions. He slides slices across and steps back. Plan tonight, he says under breath. Clear assignments, no wiggle room. The kids pretend not to listen, but listen. I open the school portal on my phone. A form for late pickups waits like a trap. I list times and attach the automated alert. There's a box for remarks, no character limit. My finger hovers truth only, no venting allowed. Can he still come Friday, my daughter asks. Her voice is small but steady. We'll make a rule, I answer carefully. Confirm by noon or backup drives. She nods, though her jaw tightens hard. The group thread pings with a new message. Mom, a paragraph about teamwork and patience. I stare, then place the phone face down. Mark raises an eyebrow, waiting for my move. Later, I whisper, this battle has priority. I spread a cheap calendar on the table. Pickups, practices, doctor, I list aloud. Mark hands me a marker and keeps silent. We need a code word with the office, I add. The kids line in, something solid to hold. Pick the word, I tell them both. My son taps the page, thinking fast. Thunder, he decides, chin lifted. My daughter writes it slowly and underlines twice. It looks serious, good, something we can enforce. I dial the school and wait through the menu. Security update, I state when a human answers. Password required before release, I insist. They confirm and log the new word. I press end and feel a notch of control. The front gate screeches and my sister strides in. No hello, just a pointed look at Mark. Mom is upset, she declares like a charge. Your text's read hostile. My hands curl, it never starts with the kids. You got the alert, I ask her. I did, she says, eyes sliding away. And still this is about tone. She inhales, then tries another angle. Children need calm fathers, not competition. They need reliability, I answer, voice flat. She reaches for my phone and I pivot. Don't touch my reports, I warn. Mark steps between us, palms low. My son watches from the hallway, silent judgment. My sister softens, tries a gentle smile. He loves them, he just stumbles. Stumbles, I echo, feeling heat climb. Stumbles at 4:30 in bad weather. Her smile fades, words finally meet facts. He'll try tomorrow, she offers, weak. Try is not a plan, I counter. Confirm by noon or he forfeits pickup. She sighs and glances at Mark like blame. He doesn't bite, just folds a towel and waits. My daughter edges closer with a drawing. 2 cars, 4 stick figures, 1 empty space. She holds it up, eyes searching my face. Where should this go, she asks. I point to the fridge, visible, inescapable, like a promise. My ex calls again, audio only this time. I put him on speaker and keep it short. Tomorrow, yes or no by noon, I state. He tries a new tactic, hurt voice, weary tone. Don't weaponize schedules, he pleads, my jaw locks. You want a chance, I answer crisp. Earn it with punctuality. He breathes loudly, then mutters agreement. Text the school and me by 11:50, I add. Silence, then a grudging okay, thin as paper. Mark releases a breath I didn't notice holding. He nods toward the kids' room. Homework time, he suggests and moves. Pencils scratch, chairs slide, rhythm returns. For now, only for now, order holds. I open the shared calendar and create rules. Primary driver listed as me by default. Backup set to Mark. X only if confirmed ahead with proof. I hit save and brace for fallout, he will see it. The thread lights up again with fresh fire. Mom, my aunt, 2 cousins chiming from nowhere. Words like loyalty and forgiveness keep appearing. I type one clean response and attach the portal screenshot. Missed pickup logged with timestamps, discussion ends or escalates. My phone buzzes one more time before bedtime. A single text from him, 3 days straight next week. I stare, calculating risk against relief. Proof first, I reply, fingers steady. Employer email confirming early release, let him choose pressure. The house settles into a working quiet. Mark passes by and taps the fridge drawing. Keep this visible, he murmurs with a faint smile. I nod and watch the edges curl slightly. Tomorrow's deadline ticks closer, I welcome the clock. What? The clock on my screen flips to 11:30. I text a single reminder with the subject line. Confirm pickup by noon, no wiggle. Message delivered, no response. I start counting breaths, 20, 21, what now? Mark places a lunchbox on the counter and taps twice. Plan B prepped, he murmurs, eyes on my phone. We roll at 11:55 if silence holds. I nod and set an alarm for 11:54. He squeezes my shoulder once, pressure, not comfort. The group thread vibrates with a new ping. My mother posts a meme about patience and unity. I mute the conversation without opening it. No distractions, only deadlines. 11:40 hits, still no sign from him. A call from the school office slices through the quiet. Quick confirmation, same password for today. Correct, I answer back straight. They read my note aloud, release only after code. I thank them and end, procedure locked tight. 11:45, a bubble appears under his name. Typing stops, starts again. I stare until my eyes ache. The bubble vanishes, nothing lands. My mouth goes dry, he is testing borders. Mark grabs the keys and holds them out. You drive or me? Me, I answer and pocket my charger. We step out together, no extra talk. Every minute after 55 becomes risk. At the first light, my phone lights up. A photo from him, coffee cup and laptop. Caption reads, "Swamped but on my way." No time stamp, no promise. I reply with one word, "confirm." He calls instead, voice clipped, background noisy. "Traffic, be there soon." Soon is not a time, I reply, pulse jumping. "Say yes or I proceed without you." He exhales hard, then starts bargaining. "Let me grab them today and tomorrow." "Today requires a yes by noon," I counter. "Tomorrow will be discussed after performance." He laughs under his breath, then swears. The line goes dead, 12 minutes left. I pull into a corner slot near the gate. Mark scans the sidewalk, jaw set. Parents stream out with kids in clusters. Ours are not here yet. The bell rings, my timer gets loud. 12 o'clock exactly, and my screen stays silent. I show it to the aide approaching the curb. "Backup is active," I inform, calm but sharp. She checks the list and nods once. "Password," she prompts, protocol triggered. "Thunder," I deliver, steady and clear. She unlocks the gate and waves the children forward. They break into quick steps when they spot us. "Plan B," I tell them with a small nod. They climb in, eyes scanning for surprises. As I shut the door, he arrives fast. He swings into an illegal spot and jumps out. "Hold on," he calls, hands lifted high. I lift my phone and tilt the screen. No confirmation by noon, backup already on duty. He strides closer, voice low and dangerous. "You're alienating me with your new husband." Mark stands behind me, arms still, focus fixed. "This is about punctuality," I answer without flinching. "Show proof you can handle it, then you get the slot." He points past me toward the kids. "Ask them who they want." My son's gaze darkens, he buckles tighter. My daughter's fingers drum the seat. I step between the door and his reach. He tries a new angle, softer, persuasive. "I left a meeting, I'm here." "You arrived after the deadline," I state. "Policy applies to everyone." He sneers, then looks at Mark like it's his fault. Mark doesn't reply, he shifts his stance once. Not aggressive, just present. The aide lingers near the fence and watches. I hold up the school's written rule on my screen. Release follows password and schedule, no exceptions. A car behind him honks twice. He flinches and checks the traffic warden pacing closer. "Fine, take them," he mutters, throat tight. "You'll hear from my attorney soon." He steps back, but his eyes promise a fight. "Send tomorrow's confirmation by morning," I state. "Employer note included." He scoffs and walks away, shoulders rigid. I slide into the driver's seat and exhale. My hands shake once, then steady again. Halfway home, my phone buzzes with a forwarded email. No message, just a screenshot of his calendar block. I zoom in, no company header, no signature. Drafted by himself, Mark notes, quiet and precise. "Insufficient," I mutter, "evidence must be verifiable." We pull into the driveway and unload fast. Homework piles out, water bottles clatter, voices rise. My daughter tugs my sleeve toward the fridge drawing. She adds a small figure near the empty space. I swallow hard, she wants alignment, can he deliver it? My sister's car stops at the curb without warning. She marches up with her phone ready. "Mom wants to talk now," she announces. I keep the door frame between us like a line. "This is not a family conference," I warn. She starts recording, tiny red dot blinking. "Do you deny restricting access?" she asks, crisp. I stare at the lens, then at her. "Access follows safety," I answer, measured in public. She lowers the phone, uncertain what to do next. Mark ushers the kids to their desks with a small gesture. He returns and stands beside me, neutral and still. My sister glances between us, looking for cracks. I'll tell Mom you refused, she mutters. Tell Mom we enforced rules, I reply, then close the door. The group thread explodes as I lock the latch. Uncle throws in words like spite and control. Cousin asks if Mark plans to adopt them. I type 2 short lines and post the policy. Password and deadline documented, take it or leave it. At 3, the principal calls with a measured tone. We observed a curbside disagreement, she reports. I confirmed your document before release, she continues. Consider a written pickup agreement for all parties. I agree and ask for the form. Structure beats chaos. 5 minutes later, a new email arrives in my inbox. Template attached, signature lines waiting for names. I forward it to him without commentary. Also to my mother and sister for transparency. Mark leans over my shoulder, reads each clause carefully. He taps the clause about late arrivals and consequences. Clear, consistent, enforceable, he murmurs. I initial the fields assigned to me. Mark adds his own with neat strokes. We leave his line blank, ball in his court. My phone lights again, one message from him. I'll sign if Mark is removed from pickups. I stare at the sentence until my eyes burn. He wants leverage, not logistics. I type back 3 words, not up for negotiation. The typing bubble returns, then stops. Another ping, my mother, urging compromise again. I forward the sign sections and the empty space. Waiting for his signature, I write. Silence flows back, heavy, watchful, temporary. A sharp knock rattles the door before sunrise. 2 officers on the step, hands visible. Welfare check, the taller one announces. Report of restricted access. My pulse spikes, someone weaponized the night. Kids are asleep, I answer, voice firm. Documents are ready. I bring the school form and the schedule to the threshold. Mark stands behind me with folded arms. The shorter officer scans the pages, eyes flicking fast. Any present conflict, he asks, glancing past me. None here, a curbside argument yesterday, I state. He nods and pockets a small notebook. We'll note compliance and leave. The taller officer hesitates, then asks about pickups. Use the code, follow the chart, I reply. School oversees the handoff. They sign their names on a slip for our records. Good luck with the coordination, the tall one adds. They step away, cool air and unease cling. My phone buzzes as they reach the sidewalk. A message from the principal with a time slot. Conference today, all caregivers. I reply with a single word, confirmed. Mark exhales through his nose, battle shifts to neutral ground. Breakfast turns into a hasty briefing. You answer first, keep it concise, Mark suggests. I'll support with facts only. The kids listen without interrupting, eyes serious. I squeeze their shoulders, no surprises today if we can help it. At the office, a staff member opens the door. My ex already sits across the table, arms crossed. My sister waits beside him, phone ready. The principal gestures to the chairs and starts the timer. 15 minutes tight and unforgiving. Yesterday's delay, the principal begins, gaze steady. Confirmations were missing at noon. I place the printout in the center, clean lines. Timestamp visible, alert attached. My ex drums his fingers, small thunder with no rain. He lines forward and redirects the air. You replaced me with your husband. Mark stays quiet and looks at the attendance log. He transported them when no one else arrived, I answer. Safety first, every time. The counselor slides a new form across the table. Shared plan, sign now or schedule mediation. My ex reads the clause about late arrivals and consequences. He flicks his eyes to Mark like it's a trap. The room holds its breath, ink or stalemate. I'll sign if he's removed from transport, he pushes. The counselor shakes her head and taps the rule. Authorized adults remain unless unsafe. My ex clenches his jaw and looks to my sister. She nods at him, encourage the bluff. I uncap a pen and sign my section. Mark writes his name with steady strokes. The principal signs as witness and sets it between us. Your turn, she says, tone even. He stares at the line like it might bite. He scribbles halfway, then stops mid-letter. Add a clause, I get first refusal. The counselor considers, then marks a box for that. Only with a noon confirmation, she clarifies. He swallows, then finishes his name with a hard dot. The principal copies the agreement and hands everyone a set. She turns to procedures for pickup today. Password at curb, contract rules apply, she reminds. My ex pockets his papers without eye contact. My sister films the table as if capturing a crime. We exit under a hallway clock marching forward. My ex follows me to the parking lot with quick steps. Tell him to stay home this afternoon, he pushes. No, I answer, meeting his gaze. Earn your slot with timing. He tilts his head and tries another pressure point. Kids should ride with their father. They should ride with whoever arrives on time, I counter. He laughs once and backs away toward his car. See you at 3, he throws over his shoulder. At 2, the company email finally lands. Official header, supervisor copy, early release granted. No excuses, no emojis. I forward it to the school with a brief note. Mark catches my eye, this is real proof at last. The dismissal bell echoes through the open doors. I stand at the curb but stay a step back. He reaches the gate at exactly the top of the hour. He gives the correct code without wavering. The aide checks the sheet and opens the latch. My son walks to him, expression unreadable. My daughter lingers, waiting for a nod from me. I lift my chin, go ahead. They move as a unit toward their father. He glances at Mark, measuring the room he still has. Drop off at 6 sharp, I call across the walkway. No substitutions. He lifts 2 fingers in a quick salute without smiling. Mark remains beside me, a line that doesn't waver. We watch them reach his car, no chaos, no argument. As they pull out, my sister appears at my elbow. See, he can do it, she chirps, victorious. Today, I answer, keeping my voice level. Consistency decides everything. She rolls her eyes and stalks off to text. We drive home in a quiet that isn't peace. Mark grips the wheel and finally speaks. You holding the line made today possible. I nod once, compliments feel fragile. 6 o'clock will test whether anything stuck. 5:59 and I'm on the porch. I start a stopwatch when the minute flips. Headlights swing into the driveway at 6:01. Doors open fast, shoes thud, voices bright. He walks up empty-handed and looks at the timer. 1 minute late, I say, raising it to eye level. No penalty today, written reminder only. He grins like he got away with something. Tomorrow 0 slack, I add, steady. His grin fades, pressure returns right on schedule. My phone lights before dawn with a calendar ping. Unapproved pickup request appears for lunchtime. I message the office with 2 words. Deny request. They confirm with a thumbs up and a timestamp. A new text lands from him 5 minutes later. Grabbing them for burgers. Not on the plan, I type back. Password at dismissal only. 3 dots flicker, then vanish like a dare. At noon, the nurse calls from a quiet line. He's here asking for early release. No fever, no injury. Follow the agreement, I answer, voice even. A pause, then her crisp reply, request rejected. He floods the thread with a dramatic paragraph. My mother reacts with clapping emojis and praise. I send the nurse's note and the dismissal rule. My sister replies with a sad face. The channel goes still, nobody enjoys receipts. 3 o'clock inches closer like a test. I park across from the gate and wait. He shows on time with a practice stride. He gives the word and gets the nod. They walk out holding school projects and mixed feelings. Drop off at practice at 5, I remind loudly. No detours, no surprises. He taps his watch and smirks. W. You're good, he says, smoothing his collar. I stare until the smirk dies on its own. 4:55 and I'm at the field. Teams stretch while parents crowd the fence. He pulls in at 5:04. Kids jog over in mismatched cleats, breathless. I point at the clock and lift a brow. He waves me off and steps onto the grass. Let me run warm-ups, he calls to the coach. The coach gestures to the sideline, expression flat. Volunteer paperwork first, comes the clean answer. He winces, standing still feels worse than hustling. He drifts back toward me with restless energy. This is my time, he mutters near my shoulder. Your time follows rules, I reply without heat. He glances at Mark carrying water for the bench. Your replacement loves the spotlight, he sneers. Mark keeps moving, eyes on the players. He doesn't rise to it, not even a flinch. I step closer to cut the angle. Don't drag your ego into their practice, I warn. He scoffs and lifts his chin, bait tossed again. My son misses a pass and looks over. He sees us squared up and misreads. His shoulders tense and he overkicks the next ball. The coach whistles and pulls him aside briefly. My stomach drops, our fight is bleeding onto the field. Back off the line, I tell him quieter. He edges away 2 steps, then stops. You'll paint me as a flake no matter what. You painted that, I answer, refusing the spiral. He laughs without joy and checks the scoreboard. Practice ends with a short scrimmage and a huddle. The coach walks our way with measured strides. Parents' off-field disagreements end now, he states. Next incident bans both of you for a week. He waits a beat for resistance, he gets none. We line up for pickup like everyone else. He tries to tug our daughter toward his car. She pulls back and looks at me first. Where do I go tonight? She asks softly. Mark sets the equipment down and steps out of earshot. Schedule stands, I answer, steady and clear. Dinner at our place, return by 7. He rolls his eyes and mutters something about control. I unlock my door and look him dead on. 7 sharp means 7, don't test this again. On the drive, my son stares at his knees. Why did coach warn you both? He asks. Because grown-ups made noise during your game, I say. He nods once and bites his lip. I feel the lesson land and bruise. 5:45, my mother calls with urgency. He told me you embarrassed him at practice. Coach banned drama, I answer, keeping it spare. Then stop challenging him, she pushes, breath heavy. Start challenging his clock, I fire back, silence follows. A legal email arrives at 6 on the dot. Notice of intent to file for more time. Attached is a proposal removing Mark from transport. I forward it to the principal and the counselor. Then I text him 3 words, rejected by policy. 6:59, I stand at the porch again. Timer ready, no flexibility tonight. Headlights appear at 7:02. Doors fly open with apologies tumbling out. I lift the phone and let the timer speak. 2 minutes late, I announce without raising volume. Next time triggers makeup time tomorrow. He gestures wildly toward traffic as if that matters. Mark opens the door and guides the kids inside. My ex's hands drop, his bluff met concrete. He follows me to the edge of the steps. You're turning them against me, he whispers hard. They heard you ignore the rules, I answer. He stares at the welcome mat and breathes fast. Take me to court, I add, because I'm done tapping brakes. He backs away and points at Mark like a weapon. This ends when he's out of the picture. Mark leans against the frame and crosses his arms. Focus on being punctual, he answers, cool and direct. My ex jolts like the word stung, then storms off. Inside, my daughter hands me her practice note. She wrote a goal for next week in tidy letters. Do we still go with him tomorrow, she asks. We follow the paper he signed, I say. She nods but checks the clock, trust lives on a razor. The counselor texts at 8 with a short update. Judge approved the written plan as interim guidance. Infractions will count toward future decisions. I forward the message to everyone on the thread. Read receipts pop up, every eye now on the scoreboard. My phone buzzes again, one last message from him. Prove you're not blocking me, family dinner tomorrow at my place. I stare at the invitation and feel my jaw set. Send your guest list and drop-off time, I reply. Mark will drive them there, let him test the boundary or step up. Mark parks at the end of the block. My ex waits on the porch with folded arms. Only you, he says, eyes flicking past Mark. Everyone was invited, I answer, stepping forward. He lifts a hand like a stop sign, pick a side. The kids hover behind me, reading the standoff. We're here to eat and go home, I state. Rules stand after dessert. He smirks, then swings the door wide. Left, and he can drop you, then disappear, he tosses. We sit at a long table that feels too formal. Relatives line the chairs, phones face up. My sister hits record with a tiny nod. Mark serves the kids first without speaking. Across from us, my ex watches every move like a referee. Halfway through, he starts the test. So new guy handles everything now, he aims. Mark wipes a spill and looks at our son. You handle your math tomorrow, Mark tells him. My ex laughs once, sharp, then turns to me for impact. Choose, he says, palms open like a trick. Him outside my role or I walk. Forks pause, eyes tilt toward me. I lean forward so only he hears. Show up steady and you keep space, threats kill it. He stands so fast the chair bumps the wall. Enjoy your perfect helper, he spits, reaching for keys. Our daughter's mouth opens, then shuts hard. Don't go, she gets out, voice cracking. He freezes, then storms out anyway, engine roars like a dare. I push back from the table and grab my phone. Where are you going, my sister challenges, camera up. To collect our kids if he ghosts, I reply. Mark is already at the door lacing his shoes. I follow, family noise trails us down the steps. We reach the driveway as messages start flying. My mother begs me to be softer. Cousins cheer his exit like it proves something. Mark glances over, waiting for my call. We retrieve them now, I decide, no audience needed. His house sits quiet when we circle back. Living room lights on, no one answers the bell. I try the handle unlocked, my stomach flips. Kids, I call, voice firm but warm. Footsteps hit the hall fast, thank God they're here. Our son looks between us, cheeks flushed. He left during the toast, he blurts. My daughter holds her backpack like a shield. Can we go with Mark, she asks, eyes set. Yes, I answer, and the relief almost knocks me back. We load up quickly, no extra words. Mark checks seatbelts, then looks at me. You riding with them or following, he asks. With them, I say and climb beside our daughter. My phone buzzes with another family ping, ignore it. Halfway home, my ex finally calls. Put them on, he orders, voice brittle. I hit speaker and keep it brief. They're safe, you abandon the table. He swears, then goes for the kill shot. You turn them against me with that man. Our son leans toward the mic, jaw set. We asked you to stay, he says. Silence, then a click. Mark meets my eyes in the rear view, steady as a metronome. The thread detonates when we hit the driveway. Accusations, blame, a screenshot of my face at dinner. I type 3 lines and press send hard. He walked out, we brought them home, stop attacking the person who stayed. Read receipts stack up, nobody wants that mirror. I tuck the kids in with short hugs. Mark waits in the hall, quiet and alert. Back downstairs, I dial my ex once more. Pickups continue as written, walkouts count as forfeits, I state. He breathes like a freight train, then hangs up without a word. I set my phone face down and look at Mark. You took them in the moment he bylaid, I say. You didn't ask for praise. He lifts a shoulder and gives a small nod. On the fridge, the drawing has 4 figures again. Tonight it stays.